Today we'll uncover the unique abilities of the rare and elusive danger noodles. Prepare for trouble and make it double. The research continues as we discover the similarities between our world and all existing Pokémon. Do these slithering snakes deserve their reputations? Are they all venomous? And do they really have detachable jaws? We'll discover at the end of the episode who Ekans and Arbok are in real life. These Pokémon have to have the funniest names in the series. They're literally just Snake and Cobra, but spelled backwards. Even in Japanese, they did a similar move where snake, which is pronounced boa, is just switched around to make abo. Interestingly enough, it seems that Arbok was named in English before receiving a Japanese name, since Arbok in Japanese is the same as the English word of cobra, but backwards as well. Maybe this naming scheme makes sense for these slinky friends, since sometimes it's hard to tell which part of a snake is the front and which is the back. But is this part of the plan? Snakes do have a lot of adaptations to help them thrive in the wild, and they do it all while saying, "Look mom, no hands." The most famous of snakes' many traits is the possession of a venom, which leads us to Professor Oren Biology Fact Time. Do you remember when we learned about poison that some frogs have in the Bulbasaur episode? While poison is a toxin that enters the body through the mouth, nose, or skin, and is released by poisonous animals when they are touched, eaten, or disturbed. Venom is a toxin that has to be injected. Venomous animals have specialized body parts, like fangs, spines, or stingers that they use to inject venom into their prey, just like a snake injecting venom with its fangs, for example. So yeah, you can hold an Ekans to your heart's content and you'll not get poisoned at all. I hope you understand this. This may not be the best message actually. Anyways, you can now prove to the Gary Oak in your life that you know the difference between poison and venom. Moving on. Did you know that there are about 3,000 species of snakes worldwide? And even though only 10 to 15% of them are venomous, they still use those fangs and jaws fairly frequently? Just like an Ekans Gold Pokédex entry that states, it can freely detach its jaw to swallow large prey whole. It can become too heavy to move, however. While snakes can't actually dislocate their jaws, the two halves of their lower jaw are connected to each other by a ligament instead of being fused together like in most other animals. This lets the jaw expand both vertically and horizontally, allowing them to swallow prey bigger than their heads. Quite unfortunate for Rattatas. We could spend 1,200 episodes talking about all the interesting things about snakes, like their limblessness, backward-facing teeth, overlapping scales, forked tongue, smell glands, skin shedding, and constriction, among many others. But there is one area I find particularly interesting, and that is aposmatism and the evolutionary response of mimicry that is so prominent in snakes. Aposmatism is when an animal advertises that it is not worth attacking or eating. This can be shown in many ways like bright colors, stripes, rattles, and sounds. On the other hand, the phenomenon known as mimicry is the superficial resemblance to another species. Simply put, if one snake is known to be venomous and has a yellow stripe, and another harmless species decides to have a yellow stripe as well, you would have to assume it is venomous, even if it's not. Ekans, are you the one with the venom, or are you just pretending? Wow, so much fun biology information today. Time to use it to appreciate the real species of snakes that Ekans and Arbok are based on. But first, acid spray that like button. As we all know, Ekans is a purple and yellow snake Pokémon with a rattle at the tip of its tail, large yellow eyes with slits, and reptilian pupils. Since Ekans' red and blue Pokédex entry states, moves silently and stealthily, eats the eggs of birds such as Pidgey and Spearow, whole, maybe it is based on a species of snakes that eats bird eggs? Well, lucky for our research, there is a species that hits the nail on the head, and it's literally known as the egg-eater snake. Its scientific name is Dacipeltis scabra, and it's a non-venomous reptile native to Africa and known for its specialized diet of bird eggs. Unlike many snakes, it has no teeth to bite, tear, or prey. And by prey, I mean to hunt. Snakes can't prey. They have no hands. I digress. Instead, the egg-eating snake's jaw is uniquely adapted to consume whole eggs. The snake uses bony projections in its throat to crack the shell after swallowing the egg, and then regurgitates the broken pieces of shell. But this can't be the right snake. Ekans has fangs. Wait, what? Ekans doesn't have any teeth? This feels like a Mandela effect to me. Maybe this species is closer than I thought. Egg-eater snakes are also skilled climbers and often raid bird nests to find their meals. Despite their specialized diet, they can go long periods without eating, as bird nests are not always readily available. If you ask Pidgey, this is enemy number 1, but in reality, these species have gentle temperaments and are harmless creatures to all but Togepi. I feel like this species is pretty close to Ekans. However, there is one more feature that is too important to pass up, and that's the rattle on the end of its tail. So let's discover some facts about none other than the rattlesnake. This venomous pit viper is found primarily in the Americas, and is known for the distinctive rattle at the end of its tail, which it uses as a warning signal to potential threats. There are over 30 species of rattlesnakes, including the western and eastern diamondback, both of which have potent venom designed to immobilize and digest prey. When threatened, they shake their rattle. This feature is made of hollow segments made of keratin, the same as your fingernails, and produces a loud buzzing sound. Ekans might be a classic animal mix, it seems. Evolving into Arbok, the rattle is dropped, but some new interesting snake features are added. It gets bigger, grows fangs, and forms a distinctive hood. The hood has a pattern in red, black, and yellow, resembling an angry face likely designed to intimidate other Pokémon. Arbok has 6 different hood patterns, each corresponding to a different generation up until Generation 4, where it just stuck with the first design. Let's discover some snake species that Arbok resembles the most. The first of the 3 is the anaconda. This species is primarily found in South America, and is one of the largest and heaviest snakes in the world. I mean, Arbok does weigh 143 pounds. The anaconda is a semi-aquatic giant, and is able to constrict and subdue large prey, including capybaras, caiman, and even deer. They are slow on land, but excellent swimmers that thrive in rivers and swamps. Arbok is big, but not 550 pounds big. I don't think this is the right snake. Up next is the boa constrictor. This is a smaller species that is found in both Central and South America. Like the anaconda, it uses constriction to suffocate its prey. But boas are more terrestrial and arboreal, often hunting birds, small mammals, and reptiles. Similarly to anacondas, the boa constrictors are non-venomous and depend on their powerful muscles to overpower prey, just like in Arbok's Ruby Pokédex entry that states, "This Pokémon is terrifically strong in order to constrict things with its body. It can even flatten steel oil drums. Once Arbok wraps its body around its foe, escaping its crunching embrace is impossible." It's like I'm caught in rap, because I just can't escape the feeling that this still is not the right snake. But now we get to the venomous snake, known for its hooded display when threatened and its potent neurotoxic venom that can paralyze and make its prey faint permanently. Behold the cobra. These beauties are found across Africa and Asia and rely on their venom to immobilize prey, rather than constriction like our South American friends. While the anaconda and boa are ambush predators, the cobra is more defensive and would rather give warning threats with its dramatic hood display and only strike when necessary. I think Arbok had a soft side when it came to Jessie at least. In particular, the Indian cobra is known for its distinctive markings on its hood, just like in Arbok's red and blue Pokédex entry that states, "It is rumored that the ferocious warning markings on its belly differ from area to area." The Indian cobra features intricate patterns that can vary greatly among individuals. Most commonly, they display a series of dark bands or blotches against a lighter background, creating a stunning contrast that enhances their camouflage in the wild. One of the most remarkable characteristics about the hood patterns is that it is often marked with a unique eye shape. When threatened, the Indian cobra can expand its hood, revealing these striking markings as part of its defensive display. These visual signals, combined with its potent neurotoxic venom, make the Indian cobra both a beautiful and formidable predator that should be admired, but from a distance. How amazing is it that these creatures exist with us on Earth? Well, it's time to wrap up our slithery science, but first, crunch that subscribe button. Now let's find out, who's that Pokémon? It's Beet Pesto Spaghetti. Wait. No, that's a recipe, not my notes. Okay, it's a rattlesnake and an Indian cobra. It's Ekans and Arbok in real life. While Ekans and Arbok may play the part of antagonists in the anime, snakes actually play a vital role in our ecosystems, where they control populations of pests that spread diseases. Despite their often misunderstood reputation, snakes are generally shy and non-aggressive creatures that would rather avoid humans than confront them. So next time you see one, just say hello and slither on your way. If you like learning about these amazing animals, make sure you didn't miss the episode on Arbok's prey in the Rattata episode.